Woo, streaming.
But I don't know how to say I'm perpetually wrong. I
Just
could look that up easily. What?
I am not perpetually right. I don't
Ich
know.
bin richtig nicht. Or ich bin klein richtig? I'm not sure.
I do not know.
Fun
Probably
times.
klein.
I am.
Probably klein. No, not klein.
I don't
Kein. Keine. Kein
Kind
oder
of.
keine. Keine. Klein means small. So, zu klein means too small.
Because you have to climb
Ich bin
things
zu
because you can't
klein.
reach them. You're so small.
Can
No,
you
it's true.
post the link in the Discord?
Oh yeah.
Gamer Jesse streaming Link's Awakening.
I don't have that. Oh, there it popped up. Finally. Finally.
I am definitely not streaming Link's Awakening.
Uh-oh. Womp womp.
Well, you're
womp.
Link and I'm awake, so I don't know why I'd say I'm awake. You're Link and you're awake. What? Never mind.
I'm half
I'm an
asleep.
Me too, but that's because it feels later than it is. Right?
Podcast time. It does
Yes.
feel later than it is.
Because normally it'd be 10:37 our time. Not
No.
9:37. Because
Oh,
daylight savings
no.
ended.
It's true.
That's why when I woke up at like 9 today, I was like, wow, I woke up early. I went to bed early too.
J2009.
And then I was like,
says,
just kidding. It's technically 10.
finally,
what
I'm
did you-
early for a Gamescast.
Yeah, finally, man.
You made it. You made it.
Which
Good job,
character do you want
J2009,
to see as
2010.
the DLC fighter? We have a topic all about who we want as the
Actually,
DLC.
yeah. I watched Zeltic's video on that today, actually.
Oh, I watched that too. It's a good video. We like Celtic. We should have him on the podcast, except he lives on the other side of the planet, so probably
Good old Ed.
be sleeping right now. But
Probably. Which is
Hello,
why I feel bad for like people like
Sonic.
him and Zelda Collector and stuff, because they're all, you know, it's really late their time, and I'm like,
yeah, I got the easy end of this because I'm like earlier in the day. So
yeah. But when we did the Patricia Somerset interview, we all felt bad for you because it was 10 a.m. for us.
oh
Getting
yeah,
it to you.
that's true. But you know that's not super early for me.
Terry says,
And-
and my soul brother.
Terry
soul
Ferguson,
brother.
my fellow Ferguson, you're here.
Sergio. What was he saying?
Wow, there are a lot of games coming out in November, and I literally plan on buying.
Merry evening.
Hmm.
I really should.
This is a
change my
tough
name.
time of year for me because I want to buy stuff and like everything comes out at this time of year, but then like I can't because I don't want to risk someone buying me that because both my birthday is next week and then
Right.
Christmas is right around the corner and I got so many people shopping for me because I have a huge family. I just like I don't want to run the risk of being like, oh, it's Christmas Day. Oh, thanks for this. I already have it. You know. That would just be
you-
awkward.
Guys, see the news about the Zelda game being trademarked for smartphones?
Yes,
Yes, because I
I
watched
saw
your
that news
video.
on your video. I got pretty excited about that. Honestly, I want to see it happen. I love Spirit Tracks. I want to
Yeah,
play. I
someone
just watching your
commented.
video. I wanted to play it. So
Well, like someone commented, they were like, "Why not Phantom Hourglass?" And I really wanted to write back because everyone seems to like Spirit Tracks more.
Well,
Well,
Phantom
Phantom
Hourglass.
Hourglass-
It just has you going back to the same dungeon over and over and over and over.
it's true, and
I
also
haven't played either, so.
like, but the thing is, Phantom Hourglass way outsold Spirit Tracks. But I remember when I was at Zelda Informer, all of the staff there, it was only me and Nate, or Nathaniel, that preferred Spirit Tracks. Everyone else was like, "Why are you talking smack about Phantom Hourglass?" And we're like, "No, we're not. We're just saying we like Spirit Tracks more." Like,
That's the
Like,
problem with giving
yeah.
your opinion on the internet. People think.
oops.
Yeah.
Well, I'm waiting. I'm just waiting to get attacked on Twitter because I gave my opinion about Ben Shapiro. But
Oh, God.
All right,
That's why I got off of Twitter.
Are we ready, guys?
I'm so ready.
All right. Oh, I don't want to do this.
Sergio, when you're asking us to port, do you mean Spirit Tracks? Because it would have to be. If it's the same game, so I assume it's a port. We
I
don't really
imagine
know.
It would have to be like a full remake.
Like,
They'd
Like,
have to
they
build it in a new engine
work it.
to work on smartphone.
Yeah.
it's true. But I mean, it's mostly touch-based, so it could work pretty well. But I digress.
Yeah,
I didn't mean
you
to
can
interrupt.
emulate the game on phones already, but it would just run better if it was made like with an engine specifically for smartphones, because there's not a lot of smartphones that are as powerful as. Wait, I was gonna say a GameCube, but that doesn't make sense. 'Cause it's a DS game. Jeez,
yeah.
Jesse, calm
It's
down.
okay. It's
All right.
okay.
Are we ready?
Also, JK Gaming,
Oh.
no offense taken. He says no offense. I don't like Spirit Tracks. That's okay, man.
You're allowed.
No
to
one,
not
no one's
like
offended.
stuff.
Yeah,
No,
you're
you're allowed to have an opinion.
So no one's offended. We're not offended that you don't like the same thing we like.
Yeah.
Yes, we don't get offended by people's
You
opinions.
good, dude. You good. But yes, let's start, Jesse. I keep interrupting. Poor Jesse just wants to do this podcast, and I'm like, hey, guess what, guys? I got something to say. I'm sorry. I love you. Let's start this podcast.
Say something, Ilya.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
Why? Why are you giving up on us?
I'm
That works.
You just said you were.
I sang it, that's different.
All right.
That's upsetting. I'm upset.
I'm sorry.
I have to
There he
yawn,
goes.
guys.
Oh, always.
All right. Hello, everyone. I am Jesse, or Game Over Jesse, as you all may know me. Here with us on episode 59 of the Hylian Gamescast is Daniel.
Hello.
And Ilya. On
Hi.
today's podcast, we're going to be talking about mostly Smash Brothers, maybe some Zelda, depending on the questions that you guys give. But first, we have some shoutouts for our amazing Patreon supporters. So thank you, Jacob, Michael, Elmer, Bootleg Boy, Gus, Justin, That One Pancake, Key of Time 15, Monica, Casey, Link Use the Triforce, Megan, Lunarium, Robbie, Shadow to Us, Rusty Caulfield, and Lovable Christie. So, starting us off, Daniel, Ilya, did you guys know that there was a Nintendo Direct just a few days ago?
What?
What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I
right?
watched it 3 times.
I fell asleep.
I'm
Alright.
so excited for Smash. I watched it, and then I went home, and I was like, to my wife, I was like, Kaylee, we have to watch this. And then we watched it, and then this morning I watched it again.
I fell asleep.
Oh, I'm too excited. Did you see it, Jesse? Have you
Kinda.
heard about it?
Yeah, I seen stuff. Something happened, definitely.
What?
There was a
A
Yeah.
lot was going on in it.
yeah.
I do remember that.
It's
Have you ever seen that book? All My Friends Are Dead.
no.
No, it's a book. I'll find you a picture.
Okay.
It's a real book, and it's relevant.
Well, our first piece of news is kind of like a rundown of the new Spirits mode or Light World mode. I think the Light World is inside the Spirits mode.
I think so. The World
Okay.
of Light.
So our first piece of news is basically just a rundown on details on that wasn't necessarily given during the Nintendo Direct. But this comes from Kotaku, where they say Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Spirit Mode, detailed, and it's a whole lot. So yes, this is quite a lot of paragraphs, but I'm going to try to get through them as fast as possible. Because there's a lot of details here, and I think they even left out something. Because when you first start it, the only character, like the reason Kirby's the one that survived, is because you can only play as Kirby at the beginning, and then you start unlocking every other character as you go.
Right.
So
Yay, Kirby.
Kirby.
yeah, and that
Yeah.
I guess that was the whole reason for Kirby living in the thing. That's why I said save the Kirby, save the world.
I figured it was just Sakurai, playing favorites here because
Why would
Kirby's
he do
his
that?
Kirby. He's the creator of Kirby.
Yeah.
But also, it makes sense, like, because Kirby used the Warp Star to survive. Right.
Yeah.
So
At Warp Speed.
Sonic could have made it. He could have outrun the Death Ray, but he slowed down. If you watch it, he slowed down to try and save Pikachu.
Yeah, but Pikachu
And
has
they
quick
both died.
dash.
Pikachu.
Pikachu
They
didn't
both
need to be
died.
saved. Pikachu just
He
needed to use quick
tried.
dash.
He wanted to help. It's heartbreaking. It's upsetting. It's like you see him and he's like reaching for Pikachu and then just they both die.
Did you notice that Zelda had a new voice actress?
Yes. I loved it. I actually really liked it.
Me
Yeah.
too.
I was like, oh, protect her.
All right. So Kotaku says Nintendo announced today that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is getting a wild, weird new system called Spirits. Players will be able to assign spirits, cameo characters from other games, to their Smash fighters that will help buff them in battle. Its mechanics are a lot to take in, and it's easy to imagine that, like Smash's trophy system, a lot of players will take it or leave it after the game comes out on December 7th. Fighters can join forces with spirits to enhance their powers. Smash director Sakurai explained in today's Smash Direct. The spirit system lets you simulate battles between characters from more series than ever before. Players can earn spirits like Dry Bowser or Silver the Hedgehog by selecting them from a bounty board and trying to win them in battle. These battles won't be against the spirits, they'll be against some related Smash fighter in a situation designed to reflect the ethos of the spirit you're winning. For example, to win Owain, I hope I pronounced that right, from Fire Emblem, players will first need to fight Chrom from Fire Emblem. Or to win Mario's Lakitu and Spiny, players will need to face off against Iggy Koopa and 3 small red Bowsers to actually get the spirit on another screen. Players must breach a circling shield around the fighter they beat. That's Bowser in the Lakitu and Spinny example with a gun at the exact right time. So yeah, they're showing a gameplay clip where like Mario has the space gun or whatever. I don't know what it's called. It's weird.
Pew pew.
Yeah, just give them guns. That's what they need to do.
This is gun from Mario Rabbids, I guess.
Players can trade in earned spirits they have for a core that lets them summon new spirits, which feels a little like a gacha game. Spirits have 4 tiers of power: Novice, Advanced, Ace, and Legend. They'll augment fighters' abilities depending on their stats. Each has a type 2 that falls into a category of attack, grab, and shield, which, in a rock, paper, scissors fashion, are strong and weak against one type. No more category.
It's like super reminiscent of the weapons triangle and Fire Emblem games.
Yeah.
If anyone is familiar with that, the like lances, swords, axes. It's a very similar thing where one is strong against
It made me think
the
about
other,
Pokemon.
but that too. But it's a little more simplified because it's just 3
Yeah.
Pokemon, all the different types. There's like 800 types of Pokemon, so it's too hard to keep track.
It continues one category, primary spirits, and support spirits, the latter of which players can assign to primary spirits to give them abilities like strong throw and auto heal. Mixing and matching spirits will help players get the upper hand against certain opponents, adding quite a bit of strategy to battles. Nintendo said in its press release, equipping a spirit is similar to equipping a charm or accessory in an RPG. Spirits level up through battling, eating snacks, or getting into a training mode. Some have enhanced forms, a sort of Pokemon-like evolution. They have power levels in their fighting type, so for example, Saint Falcon may be 1055 power in the attack category. Stronger primary spirits will help buff fighters more. To buff amiibo figure players, spirits can be fed to them, which will make the spirits disappear, and for some reason, players can send spirits out into the world and collect treasure, although it's unclear exactly what the treasure does. Smash Ultimate won't have trophies in the traditional game, although there will still be an assist trophy system. Sakurai framed the spirit system as something that exists in its stead, And like the trophy system, I expect that I won't be engaging with this odd and complicated spirit system much, and will spend most of my Smash time enjoying its basic multiplayer mode, but players excited to collect the huge breadth of Nintendo cameos will likely enjoy seeing all these little guys you know doing whatever they're doing. So it's a good write-up on the spirits mode and unlocking all of the spirits, but it didn't really touch on the actual world of light, which is the best way that I can describe it. It's like Mario Party, but instead of mini games, it's like Smash Bros. Fighting, and you start out as Kirby, and as you go through unlocking the different spirits, you also unlock the different characters that you can play as to play in. So the reason that Kirby survives in the trailer is because he's the only character that you can start out as in the world of light. And as you continue, you'll unlock Mario, Link, and all the other characters through their board game, which looks really cool. It's a very awesome take on like the adventure mode style gameplay. So what do you guys
You know what's funny is in the chat here, it was like, I think it was Gus pointed out that, or through the chit chat in the chat, Link's shield, the Hylian shield, withstood 2 hits from those beams before Link died. Palutena, who is literally a goddess, tried to use her shield, her magic shield, and it just went right through. That means the Hylian shield is just that strong. So,
That's impressive.
just saying. Also, Call Me Zelda one more time says, why is everyone calling it a board game? If you look in the trailer, it shows that it's essentially like a big, like an overworld map, like board game, almost like Mario Party is how it looks, or like
a simplified
it looks like
version of Super Mario 3D World.
Yeah, but instead of like an overworld map in a Mario game or Donkey Kong Country game or something like that, except instead of going through platforming levels, it's through these spirit scenarios and battles.
Yeah, I think even Nintendo referred to it as a board game in one of their things, because I was reading on another page before I decided to use this one, because it seemed like it went more in depth, but it completely left out the other thing. So
yeah, true. It looks really fun though. I mean, I think especially if this is the way to unlock more characters for the multiplayer. I don't want to compare it too much to Subspace Emissary because it looks really different. Subspace Emissary was almost just like a platforming game where you unlocked Smash characters, but it was a platformer, like, really, which, depending on who you were playing as, it could feel really awkward at times, whereas this seems very core gameplay focused, like, or these are battles with different variables, but still, like, the Smash core element of battles instead of all that platforming and stuff that was in the intro modes of the past.
Yeah. My question is, could Kirby just inhale the giant boss that was killing everyone?
You might have to weaken it first, because in Kirby games, you do usually get to eat the bosses, but you have to, like, battle them first before you're able to.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, but, you know, if after damaging enough, Kirby probably could inhale it and take the power of destroying worlds and killing everyone in it. So
nice. All right, Hylian, what were your thoughts on all of the new spirits mode?
The spirits mode thing, one of the first things that it actually made me think of, even though I have not played this game personally, the gameplay footage that I have seen, it made me think of a Super Mario Party, sort of, barely. That, like, how they added the ability to bring in, like, helpers in Super Mario Party when you're going around the board. So it made me think of that, because that's the only other game I really know. But it also actually made me a lot more excited for Smash. I have huge respect for the franchise of Super Smash Brothers. It was never a game I really played often, more so my brother, one of my brothers, and I would usually get the game just to kind of mess around with him or with some of my guy friends, but I never really had any interest in any of the story modes or anything like that. But watching this direct when I was awake, I was just tired when I watched it. It wasn't that I thought the direct was boring. I was just tired. Which is why I wasn't in the voice chat when Jesse was streaming it. I was like, I didn't know. But what I did see of it, it made me really excited for Smash. It seems like there's so much to get, and so I'm yeah, made me excited, and it made me actually really want it more than I normally would, and reminded me of Super Mario Party.
I also think with all the facets of the spirits and how complicated all these systems and stuff are going to be, I think it was just part of it. I think part of why everyone is feeling that it's just so much to take in, because it's like in the middle of this direct, and it was just a huge information overload.
Yeah.
And I could even feel like I'm interested in it, but like I'm like starting to kind of go numb with all this information that was taken in. I think it was just that so much was dumped on us at once. I think if we actually get our hands on it and play through spirits, I think we would get it more, that it would be easier to understand. But not being able to actually try it and just hearing Sakurai talk about it for 10 minutes, explaining all the small details and stuff, it was just like, okay, I'm not quite grasping all of this. So, yes.
So, Buzzintil says, I just want to see what Kirby looks like taking Piranha Plant's power. So,
me too.
The thing with that is, I seen someone post that they wanted a Deku Baba to be the Piranha Plant's echo.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I saw that.
I thought that was interesting. But with this, like, I was doing a stream, I don't know if it was for playing a game or what it was for, but someone said, or they asked me if I thought Smash Brothers would win Game of the Year. And I said, in no situation could I ever see a fighting game win Game of the Year. But after seeing like the new story mode and everything in this Smash Brothers game, I think it'll at least get nominated at the Game Awards for like Game of the Year. Definitely best fighting game, but yeah, like because like when you're playing a fighting game, for the most part, it's just like you on one side of the screen, another person on the other, and then you just fight. That's it. Like there's not really an in-depth story or like puzzle solving or anything like that. But maybe this new mode will add so much to it that it'll start to get nominated, because with Game of the Year it has to have like an amazing story, amazing gameplay, amazing everything. And usually fighting games, although sometimes have a good story, they're always lacking, especially when you compare them to an adventure game or an RPG where the main focus is kind of the story. So yeah, and I think it'll also win with music as well.
The music, oh my goodness.
It literally has
There's
everything.
so much.
Yeah, it'll have like best soundtrack. Easily.
Yes. Also, mentioning spirits mode and all the different like little challenges that are these kind of weird scenarios based on like a character that's not actually in Smash, but then like kind of making something that matches it. It reminds me a lot of the event modes or event matches in Melee, Brawl, and Smash 4, etc. Or not etc., just those ones. But the event matches were very just like, here's a random scenario. Sometimes had custom stages that you would like battle on a giant, like one of the trophies, and that was the stage. And it reminds me of like that, but like way more in depth. That and like the Smash run in Smash 3DS, where you would basically like get the little power-ups to buff your fighters, and then you would fight someone else. But kind of like taking those two ideas and putting them together and making it a lot more in depth. Like all these little elements from previous Smash games as well. I'm a rambling, but sorry. I have so much to say. Yes.
Before we move on to the next one, do you have anything left to say, Ilya?
No, I'm also typing something. So sorry if you hear me typing.
Oh, that's okay.
Alright, moving on to the next news story is the name of the person. So the
name.
Smash Bro Daniels. Do you want to take it, Daniel?
Shoot. I messed up.
This is the article from Nintendo Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Nintendo Everything. Written by Brian. This is the name of Smash Bros. Ultimate's main antagonist in World of Light. I mentioned earlier that it reminded me of Taboo, but it's not Taboo. So the article reads, to close out yesterday's Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Direct, director Masahiro Sakurai gave fans a look at Adventure Mode World of Light. The opening video shows characters from the roster getting hit with a beam, losing their bodies and transforming into spirits. Some sort of powerful being is behind it all, but most of the details won't be known until launch. However, we do have at least one small tidbit. Over on the official Super Smash Bros. Ultimate website, Nintendo reveals the name of the main antagonist. We know that some folks can be a bit sensitive to spoilers, so we'll put that information down below. So if anyone watching this wants to, like mute the video for a moment or something, I'll wave my hands in the air like a maniac after I've talked about it. But the fiend is known as Galeem. Fighters and spirits will have to team up to stop him before it's too late. Okay, that was your signal to unmute it. We should also mention that the Smash Bros. Website has a notable update covering the Spirits mode, online play, and more. And then it has a link to the website. So,
Yeah.
Galeem. I don't know. It's like spelled weird, but
Yeah. So on the Smash Brothers wiki, there's a few trivia facts about like the meaning behind the name and stuff. It says Galeem's name is a corruption of the word gleam, and its name in Japanese is a corruption of the Japanese onomatopoeia shine or twinkle. Both names are tied to the adventure mode, motif of light, which I guess motif of light is what the light world's called in Japan. Kaira, or Kira, Kiira, is additionally similar to the Japanese transliteration of killer, which is in Japanese just Kira, Kiraa, using the same characters aside from the placement of the long vowel mark. The wings on Galeem's body glow in the same colors as the one on the Super Smash Bros. 4 logo, which is interesting.
Yeah.
It says Galeem is a character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Adventure Mode, World of Light, described as the ultimate enemy in the World of Light. Prior to the events of the mode, Galeem attacks the fighters, commanding an army of Master Hands that seemingly destroys all but Kirby and engulfs the entire galaxy in a burst of light, leaving the world a barren wasteland, inhabited by the hostile spirits and dark versions of the fighters.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I'm guessing, as we were talking about earlier, when you have to go through and unlock all of the different characters, maybe you have to beat their dark version, and then you can play as their character as your character in the adventure mode. So,
Yeah, makes sense.
yeah. The only, like, do you guys have any complaints or anything for it? The only thing that I can really think of is just that it doesn't necessarily have a body. It's just like a glowing orb with wings.
That we've seen. Like, it could just be so overexposed that, like, glowing so much, we haven't really actually seen what he looks like.
Yeah.
That's always possible. That nobody knows. We've just seen his little wingaling dings, so...
Wingling.
In the adventure mode World of Light on the wiki, it also says at least one submap exists for Galeem's location, as one screen shows the back and menu options, but no full map options. In every other scene, all three options slide off and on the screen together. So I guess like Master Hand or some of the other original bosses, like he'll have his own level that you have to fight him at as well, or like his own section of the map that you have to go to fight him.
That makes sense. It would be a shame to not be able to fight Master Hand. It's a classic.
Yeah.
Give me Master Hand and Crazy Hand. The most weirdly, poorly named characters in Nintendo history. And I want to be able to fight them. I would be shocked if they weren't here, because everyone is here.
Yeah.
Everyone is dead.
What they say? Everyone is here.
Everyone is here.
And everyone is dead.
Yes.
Except Kirby. Yay, Kirby.
So
Yay,
I have my
made it.
Kirby somewhere over there.
Did you see the thing I put in the chat, Jesse?
no, I can't look at the disc. Well, maybe
You
I can
can't.
on my phone.
You can't look at it. I'm gonna put those links in the stream chat as well, because this is this is a real book. First of all, this first one here, guys, is a real book.
It's called All My Friends Are Dead.
All My Friends Are Dead, and it's a picture of a dinosaur. Okay.
And then it's replaced with a Kirby.
And this next one here. This next one here is the one I keep laughing about.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, no. Clicked on the wrong thing.
So, call me Zelda one more time. I read my explanation. Hang on a bit, guy. What? Trailer Isabel and Feldo had looked at different colored wings on their things that actually mentioned their name. That's how you unlock characters. Oh. Okay, I think there's like that may be the case. I think in multiple games, or in the previous Smash games, there's usually multiple ways to unlock the characters as well. And I think because not everybody wants to necessarily play through, some people just want to play Smash multiplayer only. They don't want to go through an adventure mode. So usually there's the like adventure mode or single player way to unlock characters, and then there's also a way to do it just by playing in multiplayer modes, meeting certain conditions, or like after playing this many matches, you unlock this character.
Yeah, and there's so many characters in this game. There's going to be like millions of ways to unlock everyone.
Oh yeah, the first like hour you play, you'll probably unlock like 5 characters like in a go. So
a lot of people were complaining about that, like, oh, it's such a small beginning roster. I'm like, I imagine you're gonna start unlocking them like consistently,
very quickly. Yeah.
It's like, plus you just go to the menu and it's like, congratulations, you unlocked Luigi.
And you started out the game, you unlocked 10 characters.
in 1999, that was the whole roster, guys. So stop complaining.
Yeah, don't even. Not that I really know I was 4,
also,
but anyway.
Unlocking the characters is like half the fun. You know, like going through it and being like, yes, I unlocked something. I don't know. Like for me, that just gets me going. I'm like, yes, I did something. I unlocked something.
Smash with even just half that of the entire roster. That would be so overwhelming to try and do every single character and experiment with all of them. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to have a small roster at first. So every time you add a new one, you can be like, oh, let me try and feel out this character, and, you know, slow going. At least that's how I would want to do it anyway.
But now there's so many, I'm not going to be able to.
I do ASMR, and I'm so confused.
Hold on one second, guys.
Everyone likes that ASMR.
You're getting I've just recently heard about this, so
people like that stuff. There's an audio sensory.
Yeah, I kind of get what it is.
Words.
But like, well, someone commented on one of my videos, Zelda ASMR ? And I'm like, what? You want me to talk about Zelda in a soothing voice? And the problem is, no, what people don't realize is I don't have a soothing voice in real life. Like, I'm even relatively quiet right now. When I record my videos, my brother is like right over there and my parents are like right over there. And I'm like, I don't want them hearing what I'm doing, even though they know I do it. So I talk super soft. Otherwise, they're going to like listen up against my door and be like, ooh, what were you talking about today? And I'm going to be like, go away.
You're so calm. No wonder. You're just like...
that. It's only because I'm trying to keep my family away.
People.
But actually, though, like if I was living on my own, I would...
Just wear it loud and proud. Jesse, why do you hate people?
People are going to associate me with being calm, and I'm like... It's funny.
Because one person beat Hylia up and bruised her last week.
What?
Yeah, that person is me. Real life me. Put the makeup on. My alter ego. Actually, this is my alter ego.
You are the alter ego.
Yeah, Ilya is the alter ego because that's not my real name.
So did Ilya attack the other you, or did the other you attack Ilya?
Both.
Ah, that was a struggle. This is weird. So, what's next on the old agenda?
Yeah, so the next...
What direction is this taking?
...story is kind of an odd one.
Hmm.
So, how can I word this?
Daniel's true identity.
Alright. Okay, I got it. All right. Hello, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about our top 5 favorite characters that we want to see released as DLC, because we know at least 5 are coming. Hopefully, if they sell well, Nintendo will do like a second season next year for 5 more characters.
Ooh.
But first, before we go over our characters that we want to see as DLC characters, there's some interesting rumors going around because someone named Ilya, you know the correct pronunciation, you speak German?
Das Vergebens.
Das Vergeben?
Vergeben.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
Vergeben. Well, I mean, his @ is Das Vergeben, but it's just Vergeben.
I'm pretty sure it's Verge Ben.
Verge Ben. Okay, well, Mr. Ben here says a Square Enix character will be the first DLC released for the Fighters Pass released for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, you can easily look at this and be like, this guy only has like 200-300 Twitter followers. It's literally a brand new Twitter account. What does he know? Why are we going by what he says? Well, because his account began sometime in October, I think. And from the very beginning, he kept on saying like stuff about the Grinch leak being wrong, which a lot of people were saying. But his answer is it's fake because any leak that you see that does not include Incineroar is fake. And then he was being
There's
attacked.
a lot of them.
Yeah. And then he was being attacked all the time from a lot of people saying, they're not going to put Incineroar in the game, you're stupid, why would you think that? That's the dumbest thing ever. Incineroar couldn't fit in the Smash Bros. Game. And he kept on saying, like, sorry for everyone, you know, like attacking me, but yes, Incineroar is going to be in the game. Unless you see a Smash Bros. Leak that includes Incineroar, it's automatically fake. And then whenever, and this was all like a month before the actual Nintendo Direct. And after the Direct came, he posted a thing that I guess I can kind of see why he was doing it, but it seemed like a really edgy statement because he like started backlashing towards everyone, being like, I told you I was right, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's kind of gloating, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, now he says a Square Enix character will be the first DLC released for the Fighter Pass released for Super Smash Bros. Which... a lot of people were wanting one of two characters. One is Geno, a fan favorite from Super Mario RPG, and the other one being Sora, obviously from Kingdom Hearts. Now, it would be easier to get Geno in the game because that's like half Nintendo, half Square already, but Square owns like most of the rights to it because they were the one who developed the game and it was an original character by them. And Sora, on the other hand, is, I think, mostly owned by Disney, not necessarily Square, because there was an interview where Square Enix said that they would love to have Sora in Smash Brothers, but it would have to be after Kingdom Hearts 3 releases. And then in other interviews, they said that they would love to have him in there, but Disney would be the people to have the final decision. So if it's Geno, it's only Nintendo and Square that have to come to a decision on it. And they already had the Geno costume for the Mii Fighters. So that would be more likely to happen than Sora. But if it was Sora, it would have to be Nintendo, Square, and Disney all coming together on an agreement. Like maybe if the characters are like $5 each, or how much were they?
It's like $6 per package that was like a fighter, a stage, and a bunch of music, or $25 US dollars for 5 packs.
Yeah.
So you save $5, I guess.
So maybe like 1/3 of that money would go to Square, 1/3 would go to Disney, and then Nintendo would keep 1/3. I don't know how that deal would happen, but that's the rumor. Again, this is someone who kept on saying that Incineroar was going to be in the game, so much so that he was like attacking people. That was, but he was being attacked too. I don't know, just an odd situation, I guess. But anyways,
it's Twitter.
Yeah,
People,
it's
all
Twitter.
they do on there is attack.
There's mean people on Twitter that attack you, and then he
and YouTube
defended them attacking, whatever. But anyways, it's just an interesting rumor that I thought I would bring up because he's the only person that I've seen that was right. Like literally the only person that was right about the new Smash Bros. Direct.
And there's other things too. Before. Like, yeah, it is like almost a month before, and he mentions other things in previous tweets about like lip, that the item lips stick, which is the big flower that puts a flower on your head. The character Lip, who that is from that game, he mentions would be an assist trophy, and we just saw that was confirmed in the direct as well. So little things like that as well. Incineroar is the big thing, but those little extra bits that he was leaking on Twitter was saying like this is going to be an assist trophy, were also confirmed as well. So it's not just one big thing. Also, Incineroar, I don't know why people are like saying that was so unlikely, because we had not seen every Smash game. There's a new Pokemon fighter in it that's based on the most recent generation of Pokemon. We had not seen a new Pokemon yet for Smash Ultimate. So it's like, yeah, of course they're going to bring in a new Pokemon rep. And Incineroar is the evolution of one of the starters from Pokemon Sun and Moon. I don't know what people are confused about, but I think it doesn't make sense. But like, it's maybe not the Pokemon people were wanting, but it's still a new Pokemon fighter. And other than Charizard, they don't have a fire type either. They have had like Pikachu and Jigglypuff, and then in Melee, then Mewtwo they brought in, and Pichu. And then they had Lucario, who is like an aura type, I think. And then Greninja, I was trying to remember what he was. Greninja, who's a water type, and then now they're in a fire type. So it's, I guess Pokemon Trainer had Charizard, but Pokemon Trainer had an assortment of a fire type, water type, and a grass type. So, anyways, calm down, guys. Basically, calm down, Twitter.
So, going off of this, what would everyone's 5 characters that they would like to see as DLC? Not 5 that everyone else wants, so you're just saying it, but 5 characters that you personally believe would come, or that you just want.
Okay, so either one, like, believe that could happen, or just pipe dream.
Yeah, like for example, everyone is wanting Waluigi, but realistically, I would never play as Waluigi. I'm probably only going to play as like 5 to 10 different characters in Smash Bros. And never touch the rest of them. It's great that they're there because each character is someone's favorite, but for me personally, there's just so many characters that I've never even selected. So,
well, my policy is always try every character. Just try it once, at least. But yeah, I'm probably not going to main... Like, you have a main of, like, a handful of characters that you'll go between when you play Smash. You don't... I have not been able to be like, oh, I'm good with every character since Melee when there was 30 characters. Or 32, I think. And even then, I wasn't good with every character. I just knew how to work every character. But there's just too many to... You spread yourself too thin, and then you're just only kind of good with all of them if you try to master a character. So,
yeah. Right,
yes.
So, Daniel, do you have your 5 that you would like?
Okay, so are we gonna do just all 5 in one go, and then we're just gonna like alternate? Also,
I guess alternate. Yeah.
Cool.
That for the best.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna just say some ground rules as well. Anything that's been officially deconfirmed, we should not include. So, like, my boy Shovel Knight, who I did really want, he's confirmed as an assist trophy, so I'm not gonna put him on my list, even though I would really like to see him. But okay, my first pick is gonna be Impa, as sort of a not quite, kind of an Echo Fighter for Sheik, but like a more heavy-hitting ninja type character. Maybe kind of based on the Hyrule Warriors or Skyward Sword version of Impa. Or as kind of an amalgamation of Impas without including Old Lady Impa. But Impa would be a really cool fighter and be a good Zelda rep that isn't 3 different versions of Link. and is because our Zelda representatives are like Ganondorf, Link, Zelda, Zelda's alter ego Sheik. And so just to get another Zelda character would be really cool, and Impa could be a really neat character. Kind of has some similar abilities to Sheik, where probably have like the same up B where with the Deku Nut, but some heavier hitting smash attacks, like using her big broadsword weapon from Hyrule Warriors, and someone kind of speedy like Sheik, as we've seen Impa in Skyward Sword. So
Yeah. I want to point out in the chat, Call Me Zelda One More Time says Sakurai said no echoes as DLC. Nintendo says like millions of things.
They say a lot of things
that they end up going back on. Like the Nintendo was never going to make smartphone games. Now they literally own 2 or 3 different, or they're partnered with 2 or 3 different development companies that work exclusively on smartphone games. They were never going to make any more Nintendo-related TV shows or movies. Now they're making a Mario animated movie, and are rumored to be making the Zelda TV series. They said that the DS family would not replace the Game Boy family. They said that the Switch would not replace the Wii U.
They said Master Quest was Ura Zelda, and we know that's a lie.
They said that Breath of the Wild was going to be some sort of multiplayer game. They didn't want you to think of it as a single-player experience. So Nintendo. They
said Switch was not replacing Wii U.
Yeah.
I don't know if did you already mention that?
Yeah,
just
you did.
saying.
But they've had like literally millions of things that they've said, and then like later on gone back on. They said there was only going to be one version of the 3DS. Now there's 6. So.
Also, I meant like in it. Wow, what are words? I meant Sakurai, to have Impa.
For the past 10 years, Sakurai's been saying he's not going to be making Smash Bros. Anymore.
Oh, that's true. He keeps saying he's like, I'm done making.
Yeah, like after Melee, he's like, no more Smash, and then Brawl, and then he's like, no more Smash, and then the Wii U and 3DS. So yeah, after saying like, oh, we're not going to make another Smash game after Brawl, he literally started working on 2 different Smash games.
It's true.
After saying that he wasn't. So.
But also meant, I didn't mean for Impa to be an Echo Fighter to Sheik, but to have some moves that were similar just because they're both Sheikah characters. Sheikah in origin, but have different properties. And still a lot of her moves would have to be different from Sheik's as well to be a really cool and interesting character. So calm down, guys.
Ilya,
as we said, this is like what I would just want, not necessarily what would actually happen.
Who's your character?
Yes, I'm trying to make a list of 5. So
in the I think the same Nintendo Direct, he was like, "This is the last character we're gonna show off, that we're."
Oh yeah, and then later in the Direct, he shows another.
Yeah, he's like, this is the very last character for the Smash Brothers roster.
The whole roster's revealed.
Yeah, this is.
Oh, and then one more.
Yeah, this is.
By the way, we're making 5 more.
This is everyone releasing for the new Smash Brothers game. This is every character you can play as. Oh wait, there's Piranha Plant. Oh wait, there's 5 new DLC characters.
Yeah, seriously.
So
yeah,
like within the same span of 10 minutes, he already went against what he said. So
it's true.
All right, can you give us one off of your list? Ilya?
Well, the most obvious choice for me is Banjo-Kazooie.
Yes.
That's the first most obvious one that I would want so badly for DLC. Like when Zeltic mentioned it in his video, like I would probably cry. I'm like, dude, me too. I would cry if I found out Banjo-Kazooie could be DLC, and I'd be like, I'm buying the game right now. I'm getting the DLC for that right now. I want Banjo-Kazooie. That's childhood for me. It
was gonna be on my list too, and I knew you were gonna take it, so I just didn't. But
I just didn't.
I knew.
Okay. Mine would be.
Jesse, you came up with this topic. I thought you would have had something.
Okay. I'm having a hard time thinking of a lot of people.
I'm gonna say Fierce Deity.
I was just thinking about him.
I would like it to be a bit different to where, because in Majora's Mask he only has like the one big sword. He doesn't have a shield. So if they made it to where he had like his attacks were buffed compared to like normal Link, but then whenever he does his shield bubble, it has like half of the normal amount of shield that a normal character would have, but in return he has a higher attack. So
see, I was thinking for Fierce Deity, I want that to be Young Link's final smash.
Yeah,
because he doesn't have one yet that we've seen, or we haven't seen what that is. And I'm like, what better way to represent Young Link's game.
Yeah. Really quick, Dylan in the chat says, what Pokemon do you think would be DLC if they have one, Jesse? I don't know, but if they had, like, how's his name pronounced? Like, Arceus or Arceus?
Arceus?
Yeah, it's literally
like
the god.
Like god Pokemon?
Yeah, so like just have him in there, and then he can, like, he's the god of, like, the Pokemon world, so he could just, like, do anything he wants. Because he's, like, having a literal god in Smash Bros.
There's this stage in Brawl, and I was so glad they didn't bring it back, but then it had Arceus on it. He would just, like, tap his foot, and then the stage would turn upside down, and you'd be in the middle of a fight, and you're like, what the hell, man? Like, you can't tell what's going, because then it, like, inverts your controls, too. It's like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
You threw off my groove, man.
All right, back to you, D-Man.
I'm sorry, but you've thrown off the Emperor's groove.
Hey, thank you for getting that. That reference. Is Arceus already in the Pokeball? That's an OP Pokeball. You just get it and just God emerges. Yeah. Like, okay, so it's already. I'm kind of going back on my word here. I'm pulling a Nintendo. I already said, like, no one. I'm not going to mention anyone deconfirmed, but she showed up in spirits. But still, I want to see Dixie Kong.
Well, there were characters that they had as trophies, but then they were actual fighters in the game as well. Like, there was like 2 or 3.
Oh.
Someone was pointing out. Yeah, I seen it on Twitter. They had, like, the screenshot of their trophy and then a screenshot of their actual character. So.
Okay, but then maybe it's not too totally deconfirmed. Like, it would be with an assist trophy, but still, Dixie Kong is the best Kong. It's a fact. Anyone who's played any Donkey Kong Country that she's in, they know that pretty much playing as any other Kong is a mistake if you can play as Dixie Kong. So she's a bit OP though, because her, like, hair her, like, basically in Tropical Freeze, or in Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3, she gets, like, an extra extended, like, sideways jump.
Daniel,
and then
we got a super chat.
Yeah, we
do. Okay, that's great. Brandon. I'm smashed out. Brandon, what are you saying? Zerora or Zerok? In Smash, I would like to know. What are these
it's
words?
Pokemon.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know my Pokemon that well.
It's like a red Lucario.
Oh, that would be neat.
It's a Illusion Fox.
Okay, that would be actually really neat. Already, I don't really play as Lucario too much, but I really do like playing as Mewtwo. But Lucario is actually a pretty well-rounded fighter in Smash. Even though a lot of his moves are just like he's almost an Echo Fighter of Mewtwo already. But I could see him. I could see that. I'm gonna Google what. I'm gonna Google this, but because I'm not Pokemon savvy, guys.
Call Me Zelda says Zoroark is not a red Lucario. No, I said he looks like a red Lucario. That's like the easiest description that I can give.
Yeah, no, he looks. I can see. Yeah, as far as like his overall design, like, visually is. Yeah, he does look almost like a red Lucario.
J2009 says Zoroark is just an edgier Lucario.
If you don't even have to scroll down very far in Google to already find the inappropriate NSFW fan art, like, it comes up way too fast. What is wrong with people?
Oh, he donated $2 more and says, or Zeraora, the newest Pokemon. So let's look that up. Zeraora.
Let me see. Who's this guy? Whoa, he looks cool. He's electric.
He's a yellow Lucario.
he kind of does look like a yellow Lucario. He looks cool, actually. He probably would be cooler than Incineroar.
It looks like a humanoid Jolteon.
He does almost look like... He looks like Jolteon and Lucario crossed together. Ooh, sorry. Yeah, no, I would be game for that. He looks really
he's
cool.
from Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon.
Oh.
That's why I didn't know who he was.
All right, again, I found the NSFW fan art. It just is coming up. I gotta turn safe search on, I guess. It is really cool though. I don't. It's not on my list to be honest with you guys, but Ilya, UK.
What?
I mean, you just-
J2009.
I'm trying to look up character.
He says,
Okay.
"Bring on all the Lucarios." Fun fact: Lucario, I believe, was voiced
What do you think?
by Sean Schimmel, the voice actor for Goku and Dragon Ball.
Oh. Do you think Lucario will be in Smash?
There's a chance.
Possibly.
Har har har. If you guys want starter Pokemon, the chat is asking for starter Pokemon. Squirtle is in it. Technically, Pikachu's a starter in Pokemon Yellow.
I would want like a grass Pokemon because we don't have one, and I think having Razor Leaf as a projectile would be great.
That's right.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Like if someone could like swing, like think of Zora Link when he throws his fins as boomerangs.
Oh yeah.
Like just imagine a Pokemon doing that and like just like
Or,
tossing their arm out, but then like Razor Leaves come out.
or
like
Chikorita when you
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
use the
Chikorita.
Pokeball. When you use the Pokeball item in Smash, Chikorita uses Razor Leaf.
Yeah. Or they
It's-
could like
It's good.
kind of like the hook shot and like use Vine Whip to pull them in.
I think that's what Ivysaur. It is Ivysaur that's in it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's what it
Squirtle,
does. use
Ivysaur,
Vine Whip.
Charizard.
So
Venusaur
Yeah. I think Mew would be cool
Well.
as well.
is his final evolution. Yeah,
but it's the middle evolution that's in Smash.
that is
So
weird.
not Venusaur. Because they've got a starter,
right,
a
right.
mid evolution, and
I'm
then
thinking of something else.
Charizard is the final evolution, right? And then they used their ultimate finish thing for the final Smash. No more Mega Evolution for Charizard, I guess. He lost that right of his ultimate Smash. But anyway, what was I saying? Dixie Kong, guys, is OP because she can do a double jump, and pretty much no one else can in Donkey Kong games. When it's a platformer, that's just very helpful. And that was my pick, anyways. Anyway, so Ilya.
All right, Ilya, who do you want?
Ilya. Who do you want, Ilya?
I'm gonna start
This one?
giving crazy answers.
Oh.
Well, this one's a really crazy answer, and I don't think it would ever happen. Be interesting. A generic Lego guy.
A Lego. To
Just a
represent the
generic
Lego
Lego
video
guy.
game.
I don't know, like the generic from the Lego movie.
Okay.
I don't know. I like Legos.
Lego is fun.
It's just one
I
that I'm
actually
like, yeah, I
have a
want.
box of Lego right.
I don't know if I would actually want him to be that small.
No,
you know.
also like like scaled up, like so he's
Little
not
bit.
like this big.
Like Duplo Lego maybe. Which Duplo Lego figurines look different, but still. I don't know. I just think that sounds interesting.
Yeah, no, that would be fun actually. I would like, how Villager like builds a house around
Yeah.
you for his final smash. Just build a house but with Lego.
It could be the
Just-
spaceship
I
guy
don't know.
from the Lego movie. Spaceship, spaceship, spaceship. He always wants
I
to
know.
build a spaceship.
I need to watch that movie, I guess.
It's funny.
Oh, Brandon again.
Whoa. Crazy.
Brandon.
He didn't even ask anything that time.
Brandon.
Thank you.
What?
All right, I'm gonna say I want Goku.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Didn't see that
Give
coming.
me Goku.
Tell us more.
Goku, Goku, Goku.
Okay. Good argument. Very good.
Great. No, so yeah, just Goku, and then like his ultimate could be like him going Super Saiyan or something. I don't know, because like there's already characters that kind of fight like him. Like his fighting style would be like Ken or Ryu, and then his attacks. Like there's so many characters that already shoot out like giant beams. So,
Oh.
like when you charge up Metroid.
Hadouken!
Yeah. So it would just be similar to that, is how I imagine. It wouldn't take too much.
Yeah.
And the Dragon Ball Z game, is one of the most popular fighting games on the Switch. Except when Smash comes out, it's obviously going to be Smash.
Yeah.
So
I think also you can pretty much pull his moveset from like there's so many Dragon Ball Fighter games ready. There's a lot of material to pull his moveset from. Between that and the actual show as well. Yes.
Alright, Daniel, who's your
Well,
next?
We have not seen a new NES era fighter. Usually someone shows up in Smash games, in each Smash one, like as a random like NES era fighter. So we had Duck Hunt and we had Rob.
$2 more. How about Kirby being the only one to survive?
How about that? He warped, man.
Yeah.
He used a warp star.
He was smart. He didn't try and
He
save
was the
anyone
only
like
one that-
Sonic.
He didn't try to save anyone.
Yeah.
Fended for himself.
In case you weren't here earlier, Brandon, we talked about how in the World of Light, the only character you can play as from the very beginning is Kirby. And then you unlock other characters to play as during that adventure mode. So.
And you don't need to say sorry as well. We love you.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah. Thank you, by the way. So Daniel, who's your next?
Right, so I want to see another like NES era fighter. We've gotten Rob from that era. We've got Ice Climbers in previous games, Duck Hunt. I can't think of anyone else apparently, but basically Sakurai likes to pull something new and something from the NES times. So even though it was like in the leak, it actually the fake leak, it actually got me thinking that the Mac Rider, because there's so little about him, like some of the Ice Climbers, they could do something really cool with that. Actually, they could get very creative with it, and I think actually I kind of want to see that happen in Smash. Like, I think that would be a ton of fun to play as him. Like, you know, Wario has his like motorcycle attack, so you can actually drive around, but like something more based on that. If he's got his motorcycle the whole time, so he's kind of fast but a bit slippery because it's hard to control, and that could be really fun. Mac Rider is like only like in one game, and it's like just driving. But Captain Falcon is also from a racing game, and they got very creative with him, and pretty much his whole identity now, as we know it, is based on Smash, not actually on F-Zero. Same with Ice Climbers. They're very limited of what they actually do in their game, but we've got a great move set from them as well, and a great neat little like team dynamic. So I think they could do, if they actually set out to do it, they could do it justice. And that's all I gotta say about that, folks. So
yeah, for the people in the chat saying like certain characters wouldn't work, if Piranha Plant can be a character, then anyone can be a character.
Yeah, if they can make Piranha Plant work. Again, the Captain Falcon like is from a racing game. If you play an F-Zero game, what moveset can you pull from that? They did it on the N64. So they're creative. They're they if they want to do it, they could think of something. And then also in the chat, J2, wow, that's a lot of numbers, man. Says F-Zero is more iconic, sure, but when Melee came out, did anyone know what the Ice Climbers were until, like, that was not iconic?
That's also what they did with Fire Emblem.
So
no one,
that's true. Fire Emblem is only popular because of Smash.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Only people in Japan knew who it was.
So, and also this isn't necessarily what I think they'll actually do, just something I think would be cool. So,
yeah.
All right, Ilya.
This is another very random one. I was just trying to think of like childhood characters. I remember this character actually creeped me out, and my brothers played it more than I did. Glover.
Glover?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
What
like
is a Glover?
It's a glove that like
You literally play as a glove.
The Hamburger Helper?
Yeah.
It kind of looks like that.
Put that
I've
to
tried
Big Red
hamburger
Nose.
helper. It doesn't taste very good. But yeah, Glover. I have some better choices too, but that was
Okay.
I was just like Glover. Just gonna throw that out there.
Sure.
I don't know.
Great.
So what we talked about earlier, I think Sora would be cool from Kingdom Hearts.
Mm.
And plus, I think that's the DLC that would probably make Nintendo the most amount of money, especially because everyone's going to be buying Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
So. Alright, Daniel. Is this your fourth or fifth? Fourth?
It's our fourth.
Yeah.
Fourth. We're on number 4. It's getting pretty hard thinking of things.
Yeah.
Gosh golly, guys. He already said. Oh, right. I did have something in mind. It was on my brain before I forgot, but now I remembered. Great. So, Spyro the Dragon.
Ah.
He's the Reignited trilogy is coming to Switch. I don't remember if they actually officially announced it yet, but if they didn't, it was leaked on their website, so we do know it's going to happen. Also, Spyro is kind of a cool character, and he would be very different from sort of the other mascot characters that are there, like Mario and Sonic.
He's a dragon.
He is a dragon too, so he, got some cool. Like, I think his moveset would be pretty easy to pull. They would have to nerf his flying abilities a bit, I think, to actually be realistic in Smash.
Yeah.
Though they nerfed Kirby's, they could do it. Because in the Kirby games, he can fly unlimited. So, but no, yeah, Spyro would be really cool. I think that would be heckin' fun.
All right. Ilya.
Just quick note, someone said in the chat something about ukulele. I would cry if Banjo-Kazooie were put in the game, and I'd be furious if they put ukulele as DLC and not Banjo-Kazooie. Just gonna throw that out there. If they do ukulele, they have to do Banjo-Kazooie.
Ukulele, I don't think even made it to a Nintendo console.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
No, because wait, no, I thought it was
No, it's
on the Switch. It
Is
is
it
on
on
the Switch
now?
Yeah.
It is on the Switch. I just
Oh,
haven't
okay.
played it.
They
No
were-
animosity
forgot it.
towards the game because I haven't played it yet, and I've heard very conflicting views. But it's a spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie,
Yep.
so it would have to be Banjo-Kazooie. Anyway, with that in mind, my fourth choice. Again, I don't think this would happen. Especially if they did bring in Banjo-Kazooie, I can't imagine them 2 sets of characters for Banjo-Kazooie. But I would say Gruntilda from Banjo-Kazooie.
Nice.
Sure. We got
She'd
the
be
whole like
interesting to
heroes
have.
versus villains thing going on in Smash.
Yeah,
so-
why not? Throw her in
Yeah.
there. Somehow, you have to incorporate her core rhyming somehow. I don't know how.
At least in a taunt.
Yeah, her
Yeah.
her taunts have to be rhyming. But you can't even hear them speak. It just needs to be her sound.
Yeah.
And then captions at the bottom. Oh, the charm of Banjo-Kazooie. I love it. Yeah, that would be another choice. I would like to have Gruntilda.
Okay.
Great.
I'm going to say Skull Kid.
Oh,
Ooh, yeah.
even though he's deconfirmed.
Sad day.
technically.
That would have been cool.
I still pick
It
Skull
would've
Kid.
Okay, I'll give it to you.
Fair.
And it'd be cool if
Fair.
his final smash was like, if he like started floating in the air, like whenever you confront him at the end of the game, and like Skull Kid just falls down, but the mask stays there, and then the moon like starts to fall down. I think that'd be cool.
Think it's a final smash.
Yeah.
It
Or
would
just
make
the-
sense.
It
And
would.
then the mask just falls back to the ground and lands back on top of Skull Kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd be game for that. That would be really cool. I don't. They're not going to, but it
Mike.
would be cool.
In the chat says to sub to Jesse, or I will delete your Fortnite account.
he means it, guys. He's gonna do it.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Mike is
goodness.
dedicated.
Thank you, muted Mike.
Thank you, sir.
Alright, Daniel, you're last.
Okay. So, again, not likely to happen. I don't think it's gonna because if there's not even likely to do Banjo-Kazooie, so I think that's even less likely. But if they were doing 2 characters from Banjo-Kazooie, not counting Banjo and Kazooie as 2 characters, by the way, but
yeah, they have to come as a package.
Mumbo would be way cooler than Gruntilda. Yeah. Sorry.
So
Mumbo's like the skull kid of Banjo.
Kinda.
Because he like there's the one where like.
I mean, he does wear a mask. Version. In Banjo-Tooie, there is an evil version.
Mm.
And there's also like Wumba in Tooie, the female one.
Yes, Wumba, who is the Native American stereotype.
Yes.
Yes. Good job, guys, with that one.
It's Japan. They don't care.
Yeah, Banjo's range attack.
Developed by Rare, though.
Oh, that's true. Still.
Banjo's range attack could be like shooting eggs at the person.
Yeah. But Mumbo's got his little magic rod thing. So I just think it'd be a really cool fighter. I don't know. And you could do it like as a final smash, he does like his little Mumbo thing. And then he transforms the guys into like I don't know, frogs or something, or washing machines or whatever.
That's one.
Like, yeah, it would be really fun. I don't know. It would be goofy fun. Like maybe not actually a good character, but he would be fun to play.
They put Isabelle in there.
It's true. Side note, we were all talking about how Isabelle's too cute and we would be terrible and we would feel terrible, kicking her ass and all that. But we've been smashing Kirby since 1999 and not complained about it, so I guess it's not that big a deal.
But Kirby's hurt people. Like, you never expect Isabelle to fight, but we know Kirby as a... Because he's
so cute.
He is cute. That's why I have a plushie of him. You can see, like, right there.
Oh, there he is.
Kirby. You can get it from wish.com. Anyway.
Oh, yes.
For like $1. It'll take like 3 months to get to you, but...
Also, Nemi in the chat says, have you guys covered Verge Ben's news on DLC? The most credible leakers confirmed Simon, Isabelle, Ken, and Incineroar. We have.
Yes.
We mentioned that. People were like, this guy's full of it, he's dumb, but then he's actually right, so everybody needs to just calm down. Yes, we talked about that earlier in the chat there. Did he confirm Ken and Isabelle and Simon as well? I don't think at least the Twitter we found did not go that far back. But I did see
or something.
Yeah, I did Google the username, and a GameFAQs user and a Reddit user came up as well. So it just may be that we haven't looked into it deep enough. But yeah, I mean, yes, we've discussed this dude earlier. A little bit. Ilya, who's your final pick?
Okay. Man. So this was kind of tough because I was like, Tetra? Why haven't we seen Tetra yet? She's more of a fighter Zelda.
Tetra yet? What? So right.
All the fighter Zeldas, but I was like, but we already have Zeldas and Echoes of Zelda, so I was like, maybe not. I would want something different. I thought about Lickitung, just because I think Lickitung's hilarious. I think Lickitung is freaking hilarious.
He could grab someone with his tongue and just fall off the stage.
Wow.
But it's a little similar to Kirby in the eating people kind of. So
or Yoshi.
I was like, nah. Yoshi, yeah, it's actually more similar to Yoshi, if anything. So I'm going with Zant from Twilight Princess.
Ooh, nice. And that's your final?
Yes.
Okay.
It was really between Zant and Tetra, so I went with Zant since there's already so many Zeldas.
Well, I mean, it's just Zelda, really. Zelda and Sheik.
Zant?
True, but like we've had different versions of Zelda, and I'm surprised we haven't had Tetra yet.
It's true. I guess Melee Zelda was like Ocarina of Time, and then Brawl and Smash 4 Zelda was Twilight Princess Zelda, and then now we have a Link Between Worlds version of Zelda.
Alright.
So,
I guess
I know everyone was saying, why didn't we have Breath of the Wild Zelda? Which I said that at first too, because she's a Zelda that actually wears pants, like Twilight Princess, or like Tetra. But also, I would say she's more of a researcher than a fighter, and Tetra would be a better choice than Breath of the Wild Zelda.
That was Sakurai's reasoning as well. But also, we don't really see Breath of the Wild Zelda use all that much magic, except for really in the final battle.
True.
Or final moments when she Yeah, exactly.
That
She does
part
the
makes
thing.
me cry every time.
Oof, it's
Every time.
powerful. It's honestly
Shivers,
powerful.
goosebumps, all of that stuff.
All right, I have two. I guess it comes down to me with the final question or the final answer. So,
What's it gonna be?
it's a tie.
What's it gonna be? Okay, let's hear them both.
Vatty.
Ooh, good Zelda choice. I don't know words.
Or
English dude. I
So,
thought about
Vatty,
that
you say?
signal.
Vatty, huh? And only Vatty, huh? Okay, no, Vatty would actually be a really cool pick. I
Yeah.
would,
'Cause
like, as in his sort of a Picori Minish form, and then versus Final Smash, he becomes giant eyeball monster and
Yeah.
wrecks your stuff.
That'd be
Um,
freaky.
That would be good.
Yeah.
I feel shameful. I didn't think of either of your guys's,
right.
either any of these.
So to recap,
I did think of it, but then I didn't choose it.
my 5 was Skull Kid, Tingle and or Vatty, Goku, Sora, and I forgot who the other person was. How did I forget?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
Okay, well, there's my.
And another one.
Yeah,
Someone,
damn.
if you remember. My 5 was Impa, Dixie Kong, Mac Rider, because I like that business. Then what did I say? Mumbo, and there was also another one that I forget.
We should have written
you
it
say
down.
Spyro?
Why are we bad at this? What
Did you-
story, Ellie?
Say Spyro?
Oh,
Yeah,
Spyro.
Spyro.
That was my other one. Spyro.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Those were good picks.
All right,
Good job,
Elliot,
Daniel.
Who was your 5? You wrote them down like a smart person.
Well, I knew I was gonna forget. This is actually the same journal that I use to write down all of my
Ooh, hold that
video
up again.
ideas too.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Look how organized it is. I check off everything I do.
That's a nice journal.
Yeah.
Show me the. Yeah. Oh, there's like the subtle design on it too for the
There's a-
Gate of Time.
Thing that you can put around it, and there's a thing in the back. My mom got it for me. I don't remember where from.
I think
Okay,
the
that's
knives would be
good.
cool as well.
But anyway, my 5 are Banjo-Kazooie as a package, standard Lego dude, Glover,
Mm-hmm.
Gruntilda, and then it really is a tie between Tetra and Zant.
Is good. Also, like people are talking about Geno and stuff like that being in it.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one. I was just thinking about that. I think that one's the most likely out of all the ones we've said. Just because Geno appeared as a Mii Fighter costume in last game.
Like the special.
And you know who else did? Chrom, who was confirmed for Smash Ultimate. King K. Rool, who was confirmed for Smash Ultimate. And one other one that I'm forgetting.
Sploon.
But Splatoon, the Splatoon characters,
Yeah.
the Inklings.
Yeah.
So three Mii Fighter costumes were changed to Smash Ultimate Fighters.
Yeah.
So out of it, all the ones we've said, Jesse's pick of Geno is the most likely.
I also want
I
to root
out on it, but
with
yes.
the same attacks that they have. The Goron has in Majora's Mask, where it's like slow but heavy punches.
Yes, but he's got his big sword thing too. So you know how like Ganondorf, they changed his smashes, so he just has these big swipes with his sword. Same with Cloud as well, just like very slow but big heavy swipes.
Yeah.
That would be bomb. Also, his shield can just be changed to Daruk's protection.
Yeah, and his down B could just be like where you like jump in the air and like hit the ground as like a rock, kind of like
Like
Kirby.
Oh yeah. Well, no, like you can do that as Goron Link, right? In
Yeah.
Majora's Mask, to do the whole ground pound thing. So
Yeah, that's okay. So
Hypersonic says you're forgetting Piranha Plant. We don't need to speculate about Piranha Plant because that's a real
no.
thing.
Piranha Plant's Echo Fighter is Deku Baba.
I'm seriously down for that, but
That would be cool.
Mhm.
And that'd be merging two franchises.
don't
Franchise.
feed the plant. It's a little shop of horrors.
Yeah, that is what that is.
It's a musical. It's a musical about a giant plant that looks like a piranha plant.
Sorry,
And it
I know
eats people.
regular plays more than I do musicals.
I was in that musical, but I was just in the ensemble because I wasn't good enough at singing. But that's one of the
Same
things.
thing happened to me and My Fair Lady.
Be
I was
the
just
plant.
ensemble. But I was in the
Anyways.
front because I was the most skilled dancer. And I was short.
Oh.
That's why I was in the front.
There you go. No one would see you if you weren't in the front. So that's
it's
important.
true. I'm only 5'2.5".
All right, everyone. Next, we have one more segment, and then we're going to end the podcast with the Zelda Mailbag, where we answer your questions. So if we can't find questions in our mailbag, we'll get questions live from you guys. So think of your question, but keep in mind, don't ask them, save them until we start the Zelda Mailbag. Otherwise, we'll skip over them. Because
It'll get lost in the chat.
yeah,
It'll
many
get
people
lost.
comment. All right. So
thank you, Gus, for being the only person here to understand my reference. I said Audrey 2 rules. Audrey 2 is the plant in Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh.
It literally ate people, guys. It is a plant that eats people.
Yeah.
All
right.
That's...
So our next
That's weird.
segment is
it's a good musical.
top 10 games for November. We did this for the first time last month for October. We were a little late. We're again a little late. I planned this segment for last week, but last week we were going kind of long and I didn't want to add another segment on top of it. So I saved it for this week. It's the top 10 games for November. Doesn't necessarily have to be for Switch. It could be for other console, but the priority is for Switch. So they could be for PlayStation 3, or not PlayStation 3.
I hope not.
PlayStation
Are they releasing games?
4. Yeah, so the PlayStation 4 or the 3DS. Because like last month we had Luigi's Mansion for the 3DS. So, and these are going in order as well, not the order that we're the most excited for, but the order of release. So, starting us off for the first game.
I unplugged my microphone again. Or by unplugged my microphone, I mean my headphone. Sorry! Oopsie, that's fixed now.
So the first game for... I guess what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through all of these, and then after we get through all 10, we'll go back and we'll each pick one that we would like to play the most or to talk about. So it starts with Diablo 3, which released on November 2nd. So that's already out. And then we have World of Final Fantasy Maxima, releases November 6th. Moonlighter releases November 6th as well. Spyro Reignited Trilogy releases on the 13th, which has also been confirmed or leaked by their official website for the Switch. Correct, Daniel?
Yes, it was leaked on their website twice.
Yeah. Fallout 76 releases the 14th. Rogue Legacy releases the 16th. Pokemon Let's Go releases the 16th. Battlefield 5 on the 20th. Darksiders 3 on the 27th. Which, in case you guys don't know, Darksiders is the most Zelda-like game that's not Zelda. For 3D Zelda games, at least. Persona New Cinema Labyrinth releases on the 29th, and that was the final 10th game. So going back, Daniel, do you have any of these games that you're the most excited for? For something tells me Spyro.
Right. Yes, well, okay, yeah, Spyro.
Just intuition.
I've only played one of the Spyro games ages ago. But I've been very curious about it because my wife really liked those. So she played those games as a kid. She wasn't the Nintendo fanboy that I was, so she had a PlayStation that she played Spyro on. And I kind of want to get that snapshot of her past. Because I've shared a lot of what I grew up with, but not as much that I've been able to see of what she's grown up with. Plus, what I have played of Spyro has been very fun. That sort of collect-a-thon, sandboxy sort of game is way up my alley. So it also looks gorgeous. It looks like a lot of fun. So, but aside from that, Pokemon Let's Go, I do want to play, not just because it's Pokemon, because I'm not just, in general, I'm not like the hugest Pokemon fan like I am Zelda or Mario or I was about to say Samus or Metroid. Some fan I am. But Pokemon Let's Go, what I'm really looking forward to is I'm going to play it co-op with my son Spencer, because he really loves Pokemon. he is hugely excited for this game, and there have been a few games in the past we've played through co-op together. We played through Yoshi's Woolly World and Super Mario 3D World together, and we just have a blast, and it's a lot of fun just being able to sit down with him and play these games with him, even though he's gotten way better now. But when we first started gaming together, it turned every video game into one of those crappy escort missions. but his skill has improved a lot. He's going to be 6 this month, so he's come a long way, and it's just going to be fun. I'm excited to do that with him. So a little bit of father-son bonding. So,
well, that's
a
very touching story.
There you go. Top that, losers.
Ilya, which game are you the most excited for?
Well, I don't have children because I'm single, and not ready to mingle. No.
I'm sorry.
Much to my parents' and grandparents' dismay, I don't. Yeah.
Anyway,
that's
so
another
soon.
story.
What are they rushing you for?
Because I am the only child/grandchild that has any hope of raising a family, and I'm like, guys, I just graduated college. I have loans. I'm not forcing that onto someone. No thanks.
That's fair. Yeah.
Also, I like teaching children because I get to give them back.
Mm-hmm.
I know I would love my own, and I love my French children, but anyway, that's about my personal life. Why did I do that? Anyway, there's only one game on here I know, and I happen to be very interested in it, and it's a twofer. The Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee games. I'll probably, even though I really like Eevee, I'll probably get Pikachu first because I have a thing with Pikachu. That's one Pikachu. There's another Pikachu somewhere else, and I have a Pikachu onesie. So I like Pikachu. Yeah, I'm excited for that because I actually have a video that's not going to be releasing until January. That's my defense of why I think the Let's Go games are going to be great. Which kind of just summing that up, I'm excited for it because I played Pokemon Go. Wasn't my favorite thing, but it was interesting. And I haven't played a Pokemon game since Pokemon Yellow, which is what this is kind of rebooting.
Yeah.
And it's kind of intended for people like me who maybe only know part of the anime and random spin-off games, haven't played it in years. Played Pokemon Go, which is like me in a nutshell, because I played things like Hey You Pikachu, Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2.
Yeah, all that Gen 1 hype.
Yeah. And I've been wanting to get back into the Pokemon series, but like I only played Pokemon Yellow, and that was just because I got Pikachu and I was super young and didn't know what was going on. And every time I ask friends about, like, which one should I start with, it usually ends up being, you could start with any of them. They're all great for different reasons. And I'm like, so this would be a good starter place for me, and I think I'll really enjoy it.
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree with that because, and again, bringing my child back into to one-up you. No, but for him, okay, so we bought him Pokemon Sun, for example, because he really loves Pokemon. And I played through Pokemon Moon and really enjoyed it. But he can't really get into it just because the RPG mechanics of it for his age group, which is funny because that's who Pokemon is aimed at. But it's just a little too complicated for him to enjoy. So he'll play through it, he'll have fun with it, he likes to go into the battles and stuff, but like he's not really getting the full experience out of it just because some of the RPG mechanics are just too complicated. And with Pokemon Let's Go, it's not dumbed down, but I would say it's simplified.
Yeah.
A lot of it is just it seems like it's a much more user-friendly, entry-level Pokemon game. So it'll be a great gateway to get someone that's not as into the series or not as experienced with it into it before they move on to newer games. So this could be the game that in the future, when people are like, where do I start with Pokemon? You can say, well, why don't you try Pokemon Let's Go? And then you can move on to some of the other games.
Which would be great advertisement or a great, I don't know if pre-gaming is the phrase, for when the 2 new games do come out next year, the ones with the new generation of Pokemon. Everyone that did Let's Go that hadn't done it in years or had never thought to try it will be like, well, now that I've done this and I remember how things work, or I get it and I enjoy it, I want to try these other games.
Yeah.
So,
no, absolutely.
And I know a lot of people have been complaining about it.
Yeah.
Like people are complaining like, oh, these games are so stupid, which I'm like, then don't buy them.
Don't buy. Yeah, speak with your wallets.
Don't buy them. It's not like you're not getting a new set of games. You are.
Yeah, the weird thing is, Pokemon is the most successful video game franchise ever. Because it has
saying something.
Tons of games that are really popular. The anime is really popular. The playing cards are really popular. Yeah. The movies are really popular. They have Pokemon themed like jet planes. So
yeah,
like it's usually like a video game will come out with all the merchandise are really popular, the toys, but usually a video game will come out with like a TV series or a movie and it won't be that great. But
yeah,
all of the Pokemon movies are highly rated and like hugely successful. The anime series is really successful. The card game still successful, and they come out with new actual games. Like there's 1 or 2 a year. Like there's usually like a mainline game and then like some weird spin-off game like the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon or whatever.
Or Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I mean, they even have a Macy's Day Parade balloon.
Yeah. Well, that was
like
the Detective Pikachu. Like that's going to be a live action movie.
Yeah, with Ryan Reynolds.
Like it's a real movie with real people,
so
not
weird.
Animated.
Yeah.
So
which also on a side note about Pokemon, if anyone ever wanted my personality summed up, look up Pikachu, people in Pikachu puppet outfits walking to the Imperial March. That is literally
I think I've
me.
seen that.
Because like I look like a Pikachu soft personality, but on the inside I'm like, ah! I just connect with that clip on a very deep level. I am Pikachu marching through the Imperial March.
All right, and the game that I wanted to mention here was Moonlighter, which kind of sort of reminded me a bit of like a Zelda game. But
I haven't seen much about it, to be honest.
All right, well, its description says, during a long past archaeological, that's a long word, excavation, a set of gates were discovered. People quickly realized that these ancient passages lead to different realms and dimensions, providing brave and reckless adventurers with treasures beyond measure. Renoka, I think, a small commercial village, was founded near the excavation site, providing refuge and a place for adventurers to sell their hard-earned riches. Moonlighter is an action RPG with roguelite elements following the everyday routines of Will, an adventurous shopkeeper that dreams of becoming a hero. So when I seen the screenshots and the trailer for that, it reminded me of one of the mini Zelda-like games where everyone's like just trying to copy Zelda. There's even one that I found the other day that Daniel commented on Twitter. That was
yeah.
But it's not releasing until like 2020, which sucks. But
true.
But it's like one person working on the actual gameplay, so
yeah, I was looking at some screenshots of Moonlighter though. I really like the presentation, but of course I'm really biased to that style of gameplay. Like when we talked about Blossom Tales, I just gushed and gushed and gushed. So I mean, but I mean, apparently we sold some copies of Blossom Tales that way, so that was a win. But I mean, Metacritic gives it an 80%. Google users, 97% of people like gave the game a thumbs up, so it's thumbs down. So it seems to be reasonably well liked as well. Yeah, it looks cool, man. I'm game for that game.
All right, we can do the Zelda Mailbag now, I guess.
Woohoo! Oh yeah!
All right. Do you want to start it, Daniel?
People send your questions.
Yeah, this is where everyone in the comments get your questions ready. After we finish this little intro, we'll start answering the questions.
Prepare your questions. And I'll start up this intro here, I guess. Hello, everybody. This is Daniel, aka the King Burgerson. And here with the Hylian Gamescast, what are we on, episode 50? Did you say 59?
Yeah.
59!
Wow.
This is wild. For episode 59 of the Hylian Gamescast, welcome to the Zelda Mailbag, where we take your questions, we answer them probably. Sometimes, though, gosh, we just get too many questions, so we can't get through them all. So if you really want to guarantee that your question gets answered, you can go to patreon.com and find Mr. Jesse, Game Over Jesse, the Game Over Jesse, the real one. And you can join the ranks of some of our other lovely patrons, such as Jacob, Michael, Elmer, Bootleg Boy, Gus, who's in the live chat right now, Justin, That One Pancake, Key of Time 15, Monica, Casey, Link Uses the Triforce, Megan, Lunarium, Miriam, Robbie, the other one, Robbie, Shadow to Us, Rusty, and Lovable Christy. And yeah, if you guys are watching in the live chat have some questions, I will, as we're going through it, I'll start scooping some of them into our mailbag to answer. And they may or may not get picked. I apologize if we don't get to everyone's questions as well, because we do have some that were sent to us beforehand on Twitter and Discord, etc. But yes, who wants to pick a question to start? Kick things off here. Kick them off,
so
Jesse.
From the live chat, Abigail Garber says, do you guys think they will announce a new Zelda game at or before the upcoming Game Awards? So usually after the Game Awards, PlayStation usually has PSX, where like they show off. It's like a game conference, but just for PlayStation fans. They're not having one this year. Instead, because they're not having one, the YouTube channel Kinda Funny, which is made up of a bunch of games journalists that used to work at IGN, they are having their own conference, which is like a mini E3, where they're getting a lot of developers, not just from PlayStation, but there is going to be some PlayStation stuff there shown off. But it's going to be kind of like how at the Game Awards, where between the awards they'll show off new trailers and stuff. So it's going to be like a continuation of that, but without the awards. So just like new trailers and interviews and stuff that they're showing off, which is going to be really cool. But I expect something Zelda related to be mentioned at either the Game Awards or the after show during the Kinda Funny convention thing.
Oh, I don't agree.
You don't even think a 2D game's coming?
I think it's coming, but I think after everything with Breath of the Wild, and everyone's like, tell us more, and there was this information drought, and then lately they've been like, oh, we're just only going to announce some games that are coming soon. Smash is coming this year. Now we'll tell you about it, even though Smash has definitely been in the works for years. Definitely. They probably started planning it before they even finished the DLC for Smash 4, to be frank. And we haven't seen anything about Metroid Prime 4. I would expect to see something about that first before we see anything Zelda. But Breath of the Wild only came out last year. It's a little. I really want them to, but I guess I'm stowing my excitement so I don't get disappointed. So I don't think so. But Ilya, what do you think, Ilya?
At the rate things are going, I don't think anything's going to be for or even at the Game Awards. If there was anything, maybe some, like, the most I would expect is a port of Ocarina of Time because it's the 20th anniversary, but I'm not even actually that hopeful for that. Just at the way things are going, and there are so many games coming out right now. Well, maybe not like a ton, but really big games like Smash and Let's Go. Yeah, I just don't see it happening, which I forgot to mention this earlier. Let's Go is coming out the same day that Fantastic Beasts Crimes of Grindelwald is going into theater, so that's going to be an exciting day.
Oh, really?
Anyway. But yeah, I really don't see it happening. And part of that is me trying not to be hopeful. and getting my, heart, let down. But part of it is just I really don't see it happening.
I think maybe part of why I'm so rarely disappointed by Nintendo is I temper my expectations a bit. It sounds sad to say, but yeah. Sorry, Jesse. We're not trying to rain on your parade, of course.
No, I think another thing that would be more likely is if they showed off the big Mario story DLC, kind of like what they did last year with Breath of the Wild.
Yes.
But it worked really well with Breath of the Wild because then it went on to win like 2 or 3 different awards, including Game of the Year. So it's like
they're
a
like
perfect time to announce DLC.
Yeah, seriously.
It's available tonight, and we're like, what?
Yeah.
I remember watching that, and I'm like, I don't have a Switch, but I'm gonna cry for these people. That's amazing.
I was gonna go to bed tonight. Guess I'm not.
And I think it's possible that they show off like another sneak peek of Metroid Prime 4.
Yes,
or like, they at least need to come out on stage.
It's been a long time. They should.
Yeah, they at least need to come out on stage and be like, "Hey, we're working on it.
We swear."
Don't worry, we didn't forget, guys. Don't worry.
Even if it's just like a screenshot showing, like what they did with Skyward Sword before they even began Skyward Sword, they showed off the artwork poster, which was like Twilight Princess Link standing behind Fi. But they were drawn in like the Twilight Princess art style instead of the Skyward Sword art style.
Right.
Way back when.
Yeah. And that was like before they'd even...
Good piece of artwork, though.
Yeah. Like
and everyone's like, what's going on? Because Link is standing there, but he's not. He's standing there in like a very battle-ready pose, but then he's not holding a sword.
Yeah.
He has no sword with him, but Fi was with him, so...
Yeah. So maybe
now we know.
It's just like... Zero Suit Samus in the same pose with like the armor laying in the floor in front of her.
Oh my goodness.
Behind her.
Side note, speaking of Samus, there was a thing that came up on Twitter where someone modded a Samus amiibo, and basically they just changed her pose, and I was like, why did Nintendo not make Samus in this pose? Just as a side note, they just changed her pose and gave her like a thing going on.
There's also
just a side note. Sorry.
The actor who's playing Captain Marvel in the new Captain Marvel movie had a Zero Suit Samus costume for Halloween, and she had like made a post on Twitter that said that she would love to play Samus in an actual movie. So
yeah, that would be cool.
That's another cool thing. Yeah.
If Nintendo wants to do that, which they probably don't yet, but.
All right. Ilya, Daniel, you guys pick a question, maybe, perhaps, possibly.
Sure. There's one that's kind of hard. Hypersonic06 asks in the live chat, Switch or N64 or a GameCube? Which well, that's what I was going to say at first, too. But here's the thing.
Right now,
I was like, portability. GameCube, of course, it has a handle. But, because the thing is, I was like, oh, but N64 has so much nostalgia. Even though most of the games that I like on there, which is not many, the ones that I actually would want to play, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, I can play on the GameCube. But I can't play Banjo-Kazooie on the GameCube. But I can play Wind Waker on the GameCube. And I don't know why I would play the old Animal Crossing, but if I had no choice, I would. It really comes down between all of them.
Yeah, so if we were picking, like, right now, with the games that are on Switch, and right now with the games that are on GameCube. With the Switch, I'm thinking, like, Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey. Maybe Mario Kart.
Yeah.
But on the GameCube, you have not just Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Four Swords, Ocarina of Time, Zelda 1,
Majora's
Zelda 2,
Mask.
Majora's Mask. But then you have like the Game Boy Advance player. So then you can play like all of the Game Boy Advance, like A Link to the Past, Minish Cap, the Oracle games.
Some of the Pokemon games.
Yeah, and then you have like Double Dash. You have Luigi's Mansion, which, going back to Luigi's Mansion, is just okay. Like, it's not amazing. But then you have Sunshine. So it's
I
like
love Mario Sunshine.
the GameCube has a lot of stuff, but then it's like, but the Switch has Breath of the Wild.
I know. And for me, the N64 has Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah. So
And I'll never
Daniel,
get an Xbox. I have no interest. So I honestly don't know which one I would pick. It would be too hard.
which one for you, Daniel?
Difficult.
Asking the tough questions. Mr. Sonic 06.
This is a really, I don't know. Each of these consoles is a sort of a representation of a different time of my life.
Yeah.
You know, the N64 was like very much my early childhood. I have a lot of nostalgia for the GameCube because there was the games that my brothers and I played together growing up, like Smash, Soul Calibur 2, a bunch of other ones, but those were the favorites. But the Switch, I mean, is kind of has really enamored me. Jeez, guys. Why you gotta do this to me? It's like picking between babies. You know?
Yeah.
Um,
I say yeah, I
Gosh.
have no children.
I think I'm gonna have to go with the Switch. I love all of these games and all these consoles. But I mean, I have the ability to play all of these games still currently, but I keep going back and playing my Switch. So realistically, if someone was like, okay, you can only keep one of these, and I'd be like, well, I am not done with this Switch. I can, like, I don't want to, but given the ultimatum, I could put the N64 and the GameCube to rest and be like, okay, we had our time together. It was great. But now time to choose, so I choose the Switch. With much grief. It would be with a heavy heart,
Right.
but I could do it,
Actually, finding a loophole, if I may.
Yes,
if-
loophole away.
Even if it was based on, because part of me is like, well, are we basing it on whatever games come out on the Switch? In which case, I would probably choose the Switch because I'm like, I know other stuff is going to come to it, and hopefully, even though it didn't have backwards compatibility, we'll get classics on it like we already have, but keep getting more. But even
true.
if you based it on only the games you could play right now on the Switch, my loophole would be I'll keep the Switch because I can play all my GameCube games on my Wii.
And I guess virtual console. You could download the N64 games too.
Yeah.
True.
Just not
Now, if they're
Banjo-Kazooie.
saying I can't use my GameCube controllers either, I might still say Switch, but there's a lot of Zelda games on the game.
True.
So I don't know. That's actually, yeah. But if going with that loophole, if I could still use the controller, then I would say, because I have a Wii. So
True.
I would never get rid of my Wii because it has my Wii Fit, and I need that.
So
okay.
before we get to the last question, Brandon, who was donating a lot earlier, asked a question, so I feel obligated to answer
yes,
it. But
yes.
his question is, I would like to ask, what would you like to see in the next Zelda game, guys? We've answered this about 1,000 times, but since you donated, I thought we should answer it again. We have a lot of videos on, one that just posted recently talking about how Al Numa said that he wanted to make a multiplayer Zelda game, and then the president of Nintendo saying they want to put a big focus on online gaming. So if you add those two together, then the next Zelda game's likely going to be like an online multiplayer version of Breath of the Wild. Sort of like going to Triforce Heroes from A Link Between Worlds, but where they used the same engine, but one was multiplayer. I imagine it being something like that, but just reusing the Breath of the Wild engine for multiplayer. So it'll be like the first 3D multiplayer Zelda game. Alternatively, our friends at Hard for Games have been playing Ocarina of Time online multiplayer. So just Wish I had a copy. Anyways, yeah, so that's that. But what I would want is basically just Breath of the Wild with all the things that they purposefully left out, like underwater exploration, standard themed temple dungeons, the hookshot, other classic Zelda items. Just like bring it all back, like everything that was taken out of Breath of the Wild, put it back in, but then keep all the stuff that was in Breath of the Wild. Like give us like 50 or 60 shrines and then like 10 huge dungeons. So
I mean, as long as the amount of hearts and stamina don't decrease because you have less shrines. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I was fine with shrines. If like, they essentially just replace heart pieces. So
I like them.
I like them.
The little puzzles.
Right,
That's one of my favorite things about Zelda.
Bite size.
Do you guys have anything to say before Daniel picks the final question?
What I would want in the next game is
Yeah.
yes.
And Shrek.
You
I want the
smack it,
dungeons.
a Korok falls out. You're like, what have I done?
I want dungeons. They don't necessarily have to be themed, but more complex dungeons than the Divine Beast. I would like some equivalent to the shrines. I liked having a lot of those little puzzles, even if, because they're basically mini dungeons. I want to keep the climbing mechanic. I really like that. And if you make the graphics even better than they already were, go for it. But everything else needs to be completely new. I want a completely new story, completely new characters, just everything different. Just like the mechanic of puzzles, dungeons, the way you get heart pieces, I like that. The cooking and the climbing, I want to keep all that. But I want everything else to be completely different. I don't want it to feel like Breath of the Wild. I mean, it's very possible that the fact that it would have the cooking and the climbing might make it feel like Breath of the Wild, but I don't want it to feel like Breath of the Wild. I want it to have almost the same aversion that we had going from Wind Waker to Twilight Princess, where it was just like, whoa, that is very different than the last one. But I don't know if that made any sense, but yeah.
It makes sense. My head, at least. Yes. Ooh, oh dear, I did a thing. Okay, sorry. I don't have anything to add, really. I mean, we talked about it a lot. There's a lot of videos of ours you can go through. But, I mean, essentially what these guys have said, some new dungeons would be good. Maybe a hook shot. Well, anyways.
Yes, I missed the hook shot.
Oh, we got a super chat.
What?
How do you think they will reconnect the timelines? Asked Skillful Swordsman. Hey man, do I have a video for you?
Yes. I do some voices in it.
We've got there's a couple videos I think you should. We had a podcast topic about it. We talked about it. The video I made 2 years ago. That's on the Nintendo Prime YouTube channel. Is Breath of the Wild a Dragon Break? And our good friend Mr. Game Over Jesse has a really in-depth video as well that takes that theory and runs 10 miles longer with it, like way more in depth about more of if it's a Dragon Break, how is it a Dragon Break? How would that work? Including the goddess Hylia being there. And I don't remember a lot of the details because I'm a very sleepyhead person. But
basically,
yeah,
goddess of time is Hylia, and if anyone would have the power to like reconnect timelines, it would be the god of time. So yeah,
it's a really good video. Ilya does do some voicing in it,
so does
as well as our friend
McIntyre.
Sexy Mac. Yeah,
The two winners.
Yeah, our 2 contest winners. So it's a really good video. You should go check it out if you're really curious about timelines reconnecting or converging, or dragon breaking, depending on which terminology you want to use. But yeah, man, that's a great question. Thanks, thanks for putting that out there.
A few days after the video went up, Nintendo confirmed that Breath of the Wild takes place at the end of all 3 timelines. So
It's true. So, although I think Nintendo's take on it is it's just an inevitability.
Yeah,
It'll just
like
happen.
no matter what happens, it happens.
No matter what.
Yeah.
But we, I guess, are taking it a step further, I guess. So the sort of inevitability thing is sort of on the same vein of Dragon Break theory anyway, so.
Yeah. I'll go and link that and put it in the chat.
Yes.
It's a
good idea.
video.
So
I enjoyed voicing it.
as a side
I
note,
always enjoy voicing.
in the chat, Brandon Mabaroshi, I hope I pronounced your name right, Brandon, mentioned about things for the next Zelda game. He said he wants to see more music. So I love the music of the Zelda series. But if you really like the Switch and maybe your average TV, like I don't know, my TV does not do that game's sound justice whatsoever. If you get some really good headphones or like a really good surround sound system or something, and then you play Breath of the Wild, it will freaking change your perception of that game. It will honestly, it is really good, and it is like almost a shame that there's not hardware good enough that your average person does not have hardware good enough to output how good that game's sound design is.
It's literally so true. I had like a 13-hour drive. Obviously, I wasn't driving when I did this, to a wedding about a month ago, or a little over a month ago. And part of the drive, I was playing my Switch and I was playing Breath of the Wild. And I remember a long time ago, Daniel mentioning, play it with earbuds in, because I was just playing on my TV. And I was just like, oh my gosh, there may not be a ton of music, but what's there is incredible.
Yeah, and it's a lot of people are not into ambience, but like it's not even just like the ambience, little piano strums of the music. It's just the sound in general, the footsteps, the sound of life around you. Go through the woods, you hear these birds, you hear where the bird is coming from, like you can freaking hear it behind you or something, and then you walk by it and it passes in front of you. Like it's like the best I've heard in sound design in any video game, and I've played my share of video games, I would say. So it's and it was totally by accident. It's not like I was out. I was someone who loved this game, and I already liked the sound in this game, but basically at my mother's house, she has essentially a theater room sort of thing. So she's got a projector with like a 10-foot screen and surround sound. And then at one point I just was, they weren't there. I think I was house sitting for them, for cat sitting. And I was like, you know what, if I'm going to be here for a while, just plug in the Switch, play some Breath of the Wild on a 10-foot screen, because why not? And holy crap, the surround sound, just being in a dark room with just Breath of the Wild and then that surround sound, it was like one of the greatest gaming experiences of my life. Like it was a full immersion. It was incredible. And people are like, oh, it wasn't enough, they had no music, it wasn't epic. But it's just like the tone of the game. And especially the sense, like the scale of the overworld. Can you imagine like how sick of an overworld song you would get? You'd get so tired of that. It doesn't even matter how good of a song it is. You'd get tired of it because you spent so long in that overworld.
But then you have themes like the castle, the Calamity Ganon castle. You get in there and you're like, oh, whoa,
so good.
Whoa, okay.
And there are some good like themes too. The one I don't really like that much is when you're on like the Hebra Mountains, Mount Hylia. Or Mount Lanayru, and there's that sort of
really
icy,
cold area.
Yeah, and it goes the icy sort of theme. It works, but I'm not fond of it. Go into the desert, and there's that sort of just like sound of the wind, and I can't even simulate the sound of the music. And then you get close to a shrine, there's kind of that plucky guitar sound almost, and it's just like, it's incredible. It's freaking great, guys. It's amazing. So, sorry to rant there, guys, but when everyone's like, I don't like Breath of the Wild sound design, I'm like, you got to give it a chance. If you really put on some good headphones and you try it and you're still not into it, I cannot convince you. I give up. But until, like, you got to at least give it a shot. So.
And while
sorry.
my last little note on that too is like, even though I understand the whole like, oh, but Zelda normally has such epic music, which I totally agree. Normally Zelda has like this big dramatic music that, whether it's, fun and happy like Wind Waker or it's dark and creepy like Majora's Mask. If you think of the music in the context of the story of Breath of the Wild, it makes sense. It really
totally.
does.
And also,
it's sad
there's
that it's not epic, but it makes sense.
Sure. But because it's sort of after the epic events that have already occurred as well. And also, there's a great video that I've seen where they talk about Breath of the Wild's music and how past Zelda games have had a very very medieval, epic sounding music, and then Breath of the Wild is sort of the next era of games. There's the beginning of a new era, and the music design in that apparently lines up with like a Renaissance style music that came in the real world after medieval style music. I don't know if these are the exact right eras I'm thinking of, but there's a really good video that analyzes that. And if I can find it, I will tweet about it. So at the end of this podcast, when I plug my Twitter, look out for that, because I will try and find that. Yeah, it's something worth. It might also make you think about it a bit more. There's also a donation we got, a super chat.
We have a super chat.
It's our final question.
That's gonna be it. Now that I've derailed the podcast, Gilbert Cast gives us $2. He says, thoughts about the lack of underwater exploration? That's what I want in the next Zelda game. There's so much water, so many water areas that I feel like we're kind of missing out on in Breath of the Wild, because you can't see what's under the water too.
Yeah, you have the entire ocean that surrounds most of Hyrule, and then you have, like, usually a Zelda game will have like one or two major water sources, like Zora's Domain and Lake Hylia. Mm-hmm. Ocarina of Time had like the Gerudo River or whatever. I guess you can count that. But Breath of the Wild has like tons and tons and tons of different water sources. So it would be nice to like have more to explore underwater from those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, there was we talked about this ages ago on the podcast. It might have been one of the first ones we did, like a year ago. But there was some concept art from Breath of the Wild. And one of the sort of scrapped ideas from that concept art would have been a divine beast that was underwater. And it was like a big whale divine beast. And it looked
windfish.
Really cool. So that would have been cool. Like, imagine, you have like an underwater sort of swimming ability. You find the divine beast underwater and you got to swim into it. And it's got in it some great underwater puzzles, sort of almost like Clanker from Banjo-Kazooie. I don't know.
Yeah, kind of.
But Sheikah aesthetic. I don't know. It would be really cool. But I do miss the underwater parts, because like every Zelda game, every 3D Zelda game has had something underwater before. And unpopular opinion, I like the water dungeons. So I like them.
Brandon in the chat says, remember they had an idea for a 5th divine beast, the whale? That's the model that you can see in the Akala Tech Lab. But they had ideas for like 20 different divine beasts. And they released the concept art for all of it. Some of it was like scary nightmare fuel stuff, like giants. One was like a giant...
Oh, the giant
bubble
eyeball
thing. Well, it was like a giant bubble thing, like that you would imagine like how the Cars and the Jetsons look, to where it just has like the globe in it, and then there's like a town or a city inside of it, and then it walks around on giant spider legs, kind of like on the War of the Worlds, like those type of robots. Like that's what one of them looked like.
I was thinking of the robot from The Incredibles that he has to make it beat itself up.
Oh yeah.
I always think that I rewatched The Incredibles just before Incredibles 2 came out, and I was like, that's a guardian. that's a guardian.
That is a guardian. Basically just a giant guardian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine the reason they didn't put the underwater feature in is there was already so much in the games. And I wonder if it would have downplayed the use of what's it called? Is it Cryonis?
Cryonis?
Yeah. Which, I mean, you do need to use it in those quagmire. Is that what it's called? Am I thinking of something else? The muddy areas that you sink if you step into it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Which, I mean, you still could have used it there, but I don't know. I wanted the underwater feature too, but I guess it's also like, they gave me so much in this game.
Yeah.
Next
And
game.
also,
Next
I'm
game,
wondering
guys.
if they made it like it was hard to deal with the physics engine.
Maybe.
Like that could be something that was holding them back. So we're just like, we're not gonna this time, maybe next time. Because I know there's an interview where like even just the wind gave them trouble because they were trying to make really good wind physics. And then like Owen was talking about he was testing it, and then he went to this area, and all these things for a puzzle were supposed to be there, but the wind had like blown them away to like a completely different area of the map before he was able to get there. And they had to really fine tune those kind of things to make it still good, but not so impactful to the experience that things like puzzles are going to get messed up.
Yeah.
I believe the theory that Nintendo purposefully left out a bunch of stuff just so they would have a way to make the next Zelda game better.
Yeah.
Because if they would have put everything into this Zelda game, then they would have nowhere to go. So they purposefully left out things like, oh, we can take out the hookshot, we can take out underwater exploration, we can take out temples. That way we can put them all in the next game, and we won't have to like stress over how we're going to make something even better. We can just make the same thing, but just add all this stuff back, and then it'll instantly be better.
True. I know part of the reason they left out the hook shot, claw shot, whatever you want to call it, is they said it would have downplayed the climbing mechanic, which was so new. But I personally want to be Spider-Man again. That was a fun time in Twilight Princess.
Yeah, and I mean, a way to mitigate that as well is just limit the hookshot to what it can hookshot onto, which is already the case. You can't just hookshot to any wall.
And as far as like using stuff, taking out stuff from one game and putting in another, they've already done that a bunch of times, so wouldn't put it past them at all. We have so many videos on it too on this channel about, they didn't use all these dungeon ideas, put it in the next game, and then they took out those dungeon ideas and put it in the next game. They're always gonna have more stuff. I mean, yeah.
All right, Daniel, who are you? Why are you here?
I don't know.
Why do we care about you?
You don't, and I don't blame you. So
I care.
So Jeez. I'm Daniel. You can talk to me on Jesse's Discord, which there's a link to in the description. But please also feel free to follow me on the old Twitter and Instagram and Twitch at CaptBurgerson, CaptBurgerson. Especially Twitch. I've been streaming Tuesdays and Wednesdays, although the last couple of weeks I've only been able to do one of those 2 days just because scheduling is a nasty nast. So at least on a Tuesday or Wednesday, at least once a week, I'll stream on Twitch. I also have a website called Burgerson Media, or is it Burgers on Media? And that's where I post all sorts of things that I do, like music and things that I've commissioned or had commissioned by people. So if you look at that and you're like, that looks like I would feel okay with paying this guy to make me a thing for my YouTube channel, hit me up. I can do that. So that's me, everybody.
All right, Ilya, who are you? What are you doing here?
I am Ilya Rose. I started here on this channel as a viewer, just like most of you, and then I ended up becoming a narrator and a podcast co-host, which is really cool. But I have a YouTube channel called The Geek Apprentice, but you just look me up by looking up Ilya Rose, and my intro was actually done by Daniel here.
No way.
Note, he did my intro. It looks way better than my original intro. He showed it to me. He was like, I just did this for fun. What do you think? And I was like, can I use it, please? Because it was way better than mine. But yes, I do videos on geeky things. Zelda, Harry Potter, Hunger Games, Disney stuff. I post every other Wednesday for now. But yeah, so I have a video coming out this Wednesday. You can also follow me on Instagram at IlyaRose_Geek Apprentice. I have a Twitch, but I don't do anything on there except watch other people. I want to hopefully someday stream just because it seems like fun to play games with people watching me, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I talk about geeky things. And be sure to be watching Zelda Universe because they have a thing coming out at the end of this month, which I'm a part of. I play a character in a thing, and it's fun. So if you need people doing voices for you, I can do that. I'm a voice actress, and I specialize in toddler voices. Yep. That's pretty much it.
It's a great thing to specialize.
I am Jesse, and I am tired.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I feel you, dude. It's almost midnight.
So Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, everything is at or / GameOverJesse. You can follow us there. You can join our Discord and talk to all of us and play games with us sometimes if we're in the mood to play games, which will probably be 24/7 once Smash Brothers releases.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
More Smash.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you all for watching. There's 31 of you right now. Earlier we had 40 something. So thank you guys for watching this really late. Luckily it's not 3 a.m. like it was last time when we had Maya and Miss Click. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Ilya.
Thank you, Jesse. Bye.